You know, after multiple attempts, I come to the realization why my videos recordings have been taking about 4 hours. It's mostly because Tectone keeps repeating himself. He says the same shit over and over again. So, in turn, I'm basically going to play his video at 1.5 speed. I'm pretty much, hopefully, that will cut his video down to about the 8-minute mark, where I will stop, offer proof, and put you on the path to find the truth for yourself, because Tectone has no actual factual, like how that rhymes, evidence for anything he says. He never shows proof. He keeps on saying he's talking about the truth. No, it's all his opinion. Now, there's nothing wrong with opinion. You just gotta remember what opinions are. Everybody has them, just like assholes. Just some stink more than others. And my personal opinion, Tectone's opinion, stinks to high heaven. Now, there's gonna be certain words that are gonna be used in this video that are quote unquote triggering, but I'm not gonna censor them because it's the impact of what these words mean in the situation that they were used. I'll apologize now, but I think it's really necessary to use the exact phrasing. Also, I'm going to be referring to something called the lunatic fringe. This is the fan base that they're on the edge of that cliff into psychotic behavior. And sometimes all it takes is someone to say something that will push them into that psychotic behavior. It's happened in the past, and Tectone says something twice, the exact same thing, that can trigger someone to do something very dangerous against talent. Anyway, let's get into it. Let me enlarge this. Let me increase the speed. When we get to about the 9-minute mark or so, I'm going to stop the video.
Says the perspective from an honest HoloLive member about Cover being a
And
black
I'm going to
company
keep
or
my
not.
mic
So
quiet,
here's the issue.
so
I have
you'll
made a
hear
career of
noise,
saying the things that other
just so
people are
you
too
know I'm
uncomfortable to
sitting
say.
here
Kiara's great.
letting the video play.
Gura's great. I don't watch either of their content. I'm not going to pretend that I do. I saw Kiara make some funny chicken noises. I saw Gargura say, I thought it was funny. I don't really care. It's not really about them. It's kind of about the positions that they're in. And I think this is important to talk about because you have people on the internet who want to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. You have people on the internet who say that Asmongold don't know what he's talking about. And I think this is so dangerous. And the reason why this is because obviously Gargura said that she left, her words verbatim were, there was a disagreement with management and the company. And that's what she said. And that's enough of a nugget to really expand upon the issues with VTuber agencies and companies as a whole. Now, obviously, I would love to listen to Callie. I would love to listen to Kiara. But let me ask you a question, guys. Are both of them still in HoloLive? Yes. I'm glad we all know that. I know that, of course. But you shouldn't expect anybody to give valid criticisms when they're a part of that organization, when they are, just to give an example, sponsored. If someone's sponsored to play Raid Shadow Legends, it's not really in their best interest to give good, constructive feedback and criticism while they're in that, because it can fuck them over very, very, very hard. I'm going to speak from an outside perspective, and I'm only going to tell you the truth. And these are things that you can look into for yourself. I'm going to do you guys a favor and just kind of talk why I think VTuber agencies are fucking terrible and why they're fucking horrible. And I'm just going to list you guys some facts. And if any, and once again, if any VTuber would like to tell me why I'm wrong, you're more than welcome to. However, to give you guys some little bit of credentials for why the fuck my opinion matters, I have brought many VTubers many opportunities to grow as content creators. About a year to 2 years ago, I was known as the VTuber guy, kind of up there with, what's his name? There's this white dude that talks to every VTuber. What's his fucking name? Nags? Yeah, like Nags. But then, unfortunately, a woman wanted to ruin my life, and now it's not good for me to get any VTubers involved in drama. And this is what the important thing to note about VTubers are VTubers cannot get into drama. They cannot. They cannot. If you are a VTuber and you get into drama,
I'm still
you
here.
are
I'm
fucked.
just listening
You will be
to him
excommunicated,
prattle
you will
on,
be blacklisted,
and I'm
and no
keeping
one will
track
communicate with you whatsoever. Every
about
VTuber needs to go
certain things
live with a
he
happy face,
says
say that
he
everything's
does.
fine, everything's dandy, unless the drama they're going to bring up is for sympathy to bait people into giving them more super chats. That is the truth. The majority of VTuber drama happens behind the scenes because creators know if they bring that drama to the forefront on stream, they're going to be fucked in their career. Because none of these people want to deal with drama. They just don't. And I would love to know a counterpoint to that. The majority of VTuber drama is dealt from behind the scenes because that's kind of how it goes. Now, let me address the two tweets that Asmongold and I put out, which is this. I put out many. I'm going to read them all in full, leave out zero context, and then I'll address the counterpoints. So, if anyone is shocked by Guru's decision to leave Hololive and her main reason is due to company's direction, y'all need to understand how shit VTuber orgs are. Ownership of identity, predatory cuts of revenue. It's insane how VTubers want to lock into VTuber organizations to begin with. Things need to change. VTubers deserve better. If you're wondering how anybody took offense to that, well, that's because people are retarded. Asmongold follows up by saying, compared to traditional orgs and streaming agencies, VTuber-centric orgs are often exploitive, to say the least. They seem to be a vestigial function of idle management groups in primarily Japan, so I hope it will keep dying as VTubers realize they have other options now. These VTuber orgs and understand the VTubers make the org, not the other way around. I follow up to say, guys, Gora will be fine. She's an amazingly talented VTuber and streamer, one of the most subscribed VTubers of all time. Hopefully this will lead to more VTubers leaving big corporations that were taking massive cut of their earnings. VTubers make the orgs, not the other way around. Support independent VTubers. Let's go again, once again. Final note for now, if Guru is saying it's bad for her, you need to understand that it's even worse for lesser known VTubers in the Hololive roster. Those who don't have the massive outreach and popularity that she does, again, support independent VTubers. Now, I am going to tell you guys some truths. And these are truths that the companies don't want you to know about. Will I get in trouble? Man, I sure hope not. So out of plausible deniability for myself, I will not mention any specific company that does this. But feel free to ask your streamers what their companies demand of them. I am going to peel back the curtain, and I am going to let you guys know some things I've never admitted on stream. About 3 years ago, I was approached by a content organization. This is not OTK. This is not OTK. That offered me $12,000 a month to merely be in their org and rep their organization. They said they would help me with any of my content for free, as long as I said I was a part of their organization. I turned this down. Now, you might ask me why I turned this down, and that is because I went and I got an offer from another group of streamers called OTK. OTK offered me to join their organization. I'm not going to say how much, but I was paid an amount much smaller than that, because I wasn't really joining the org to build it. I knew that OTK could build me up. No strings attached. Just say I'm part of the org, do content with them. I get paid X amount of dollars. It wasn't really that crazy, just to be a part of the org. And I will say, full disclosure, I loved this org so much. I said, I'd rather just join for free. I don't need money. I do not need it. I would just be proud to be a part of your organization. And I was for around 3 years because I loved everybody in that org. I mean, majorly just Asmongold, just to be completely honest. But the other creators were pretty cool. I mean, I saw a couple Seer videos back when he used to do shit with Onision. S-Fan seemed like a pretty nice guy. Rich Campbell used to be in my chat all the time, and he played gacha games. And Miskiff seemed funny. You know what I mean? I had no idea who the fuck Nick was. But yeah, I joined, and what they did was anything I ever needed, they said, we'll help you. Anything I was ever struggling with, they said, we'll help you. And I had opportunities to collab with other creators that I would have never had the opportunity to collab with, ever. Now let me tell you what VTuber agencies do. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? Yeah. Y'all gonna be mad as shit. Because I'm gonna just say it. And you guys can figure out what companies I'm talking about. So here's what's fun. You join a VTubing agency, and they say, oh yeah, your identity, we own it. If you ever leave, you lose your identity. Let's go even further. Oh yeah, your sub revenue, your merch revenue, we get between 20 to 50%. Guys, there are some creators where they don't get any percent. Yep. They say, well, you need to pay us back for us making you, so you don't get any percent. You want to know why? Because Japan idol culture normalized that. Yep. Japan's idol culture normalized that. Because these companies want to say, well, we made you, so you owe us. Yep. And you know what everybody else in these orgs say? Well, I do it, and it's fine. I'm just happy to be a creator. Normal streaming orgs pay you money to be in it. VTuber streaming orgs demand money from you for it. Now, I will say, of all of the VTuber orgs, I would just like to say, VShojo's probably the least bad. Because at least you get to keep your identity. And I think that is so important. Now, I'm not going to say they're not doing other things that are bad, but I would say kudos to them for at least allowing your VTubers to keep their identity. Thank God. We've done the bare minimum, boys. We've done the bare minimum. And you know what's crazy? These people are so fucking dumb. There are even people in my chat saying, That goes everywhere. Like legit. Hold up, there's more. There's more. I saw another guy. Okay. Brother, it's not our fault that you don't get it. It is not our fault that you don't get it. And if you don't understand that the streamers who go live every day and stream for 8, 10 hours, getting their money taken away from them, getting their identity taken away from them, that is not a good thing at all. Because then these people, they become like pseudo slaves where they become terrified to ever leave. Besides ones who are so big that they can live and make a name for themselves elsewhere, like the Kasons, like the Guras, who can afford to leave, make a new identity, and know their viewership are still there. Oh, here's a great one. You're partially wrong. Okay, go ahead. Nah, Hollow's better. Identity doesn't matter. You will earn more money in Hollow. Okay, I'm gonna explain this to you one more time, and I'm gonna hope that you get it. And I'm gonna say this, and hopefully that you can understand this. No content org should have the right to take your identity. No content org should have the right to take your earnings for just being a part of their org. The girls earned that. They earned it. We don't need this shit where they're taking 20%, 40%, 60% in perpetuity. And if you ever leave, your identity is gone. If you can't understand why that's bad, I don't know what to tell you. And the problem is that for the smaller creators who won't have that resurgence once they leave, and they think they'll be fucked, that fear keeps them in there forever. It does. It keeps them in there forever. It's terrible. It is. You get into any drama behind the scenes and you're booted out. There's no security. It's fucked up. Now, unfortunately, it's not your guys' fault. Case in point, the Doki Bird situation. Yeah, but but here's the thing about Doki Bird, man. That happened 3 months ago, and the internet has already forgotten about that. Yeah, you don't get it. That was 3 months ago, and the internet just said, oh, I don't remember it. I don't remember it, so it didn't happen. But you guys need to understand that these VTuber orgs are fucking shit. They're terrible, and they should not be celebrated. And the problem is that so much responsibility and so much expectations lie on these independent VTubers to join these orgs, when in reality, people should just be happier that girls can be independent. But the other problem is there's a lot of VTuber orgs that say you're only gonna do content with your org members. And so a lot of people...
I know I'm pausing this. It hasn't been the 9 minutes yet. Just so you know, I've been keeping track of the things he's been saying. And he hasn't been right once. He hasn't shown any factual evidence once to back up anything he's saying. If you have seen him shown factual evidence, please let me know, because I have watched his video probably over 40 times. I've yet to notice that he points to any factual evidence. This is all his opinion.
Want to join these orgs to have collaborations with these VTubers that they respect and look up to, and then they realize, oh fuck, I fell in the net. Now I'm fucked too. And it sucks. But forcing collaborations, taking a cut of their revenue, and taking your identity when you leave, if your company has any of these, I think you're a shit company. Now, you can tell me why I'm wrong, and I want to say, I think it's an absolutely fair point when people say, well, Techie, if smaller creators join this company and they get a career just because they're a part of this, then the company should get a cut of their earnings. And if that's the case, sure, I absolutely agree. Yeah, if they weren't going to be anything without these companies, sure, it's the least they can do. However, having a permanent revenue split in perpetuity, that's ridiculous. And you'll never change my mind on that. Case in point, and TLDR, I would just like VTubers to be treated like regular streamers. When a regular non-VTuber streamer joins an org, they get money and they get assistance. When a VTuber joins an organization, they lose money and they even lose their identity. You will never make that make sense to me. It's bullshit, it's predatory, and everybody fucking knows it. And let me tell you something even worse. There's a VTuber, and I'm not gonna say who it is, that was being paid $500 at 3,000 CCV for an energy drink company that I was being paid for $10,000 at 3,000 CCV. Same concurrent viewership, a factor of 20, I was being paid more than. And you want to know why? Because they said VTubers get weird when you talk about financial stuff. VTubers get weird about money, so we just don't talk about it. So I didn't know I was getting fucked. And they got locked into that contract for over 2 years. Guys, they lost over $200,000 from that deal. They lost over $200,000. And that is why I try to help anybody that I know, friend or not, to get into Mythic Talent, a talent agency that actually treats their VTubers and their creators fucking well. It is so important to be able to talk about serious issues. It is so important to talk about money. I don't know why this upsets anybody. I don't know why this makes people think that I'm grifting. I have been talking about the proper treatment of VTubers for well over 3 fucking years. There's a reason why I help Mythic Talent so much. I was the guy who connected the agents to the VTubers. And I'm sure there is well over, I think about like, what, 112 just VTubers? Of how I've gotten them, not even into Mythic, just into
Okay. Hopefully, you all understood most of what he said there. Uh, by my count, he made 15 bad analogies, basically spreading false information. He talked about himself 3 times, and that's the longer part of his video. He talked about himself 3 times, not really about the subject of his video. He used the word verbatim once. He used the word truth. He's going to use it again here, but I'm probably not going to play that part because it's just the same shit twice. He talked. He brought up identity 11 times, but doesn't go into any kind of detail about it, other than the fact that he believes the talent owns the identity. He doesn't want to listen to actual criticism from VTubers about VTuber organizations. That's the Cali and Kiara thing. He brought up money 12 times. Uh, he brought up the fact that VTubers go go live when they're in a drama, play for sympathy to get money. He brought drama up 3 times. Uh, he insulted people 3 times. He used certain words that people may or may not have a problem with, like retarded. Alright, and he now gets to his agenda about mythic talent. That's basically Tectone's video played at 1.5 speed. If you want to go watch it, no, there's the title, The Dark Truth About Gargura and VTuber Agency. If you want to play at normal speed. Okay, now let's get into some facts, and I will tell you this. Everything I am about to tell you, you can find on the internet. You can do Google searches, and you can go to YouTube and do searches there and see videos. Will you have to work to find some of this stuff? Yes. Can I show you clips? Can I show you proof? Yeah, but I'm not gonna do hand it to you on a silver platter. What I notice when people do things like this, like I'm trying to do, the first thing people do as soon as they see a clip, say it's fake. That's the reason why I'm telling you all to go find it yourself. Because if you work for it, you value it. If you don't work for it, then you say it's fake. Even if someone shows you the proof right to your face with everything proving that it's true, they'll say it's fake. Well, now I'm telling you to go do the homework. Think for yourself. If you don't believe me, go prove that I'm not telling the truth. Unlike him, I'm going to try to show you some evidence and lead you down the path to how to find the evidence. All right. Let's address some of the first things he brought up, where he says basically boils down to this: he does not consume VTuber content other than the drama. Okay, let's search Tectone here in Google. Not on YouTube. Let's see what he covers. Uh, special. Well, let's narrow it down some. Drama, 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 drama. I don't know if that's drama or not. All right, as you can tell, oh, there's more drama. Obviously, he covers VTuber drama. He just looks at clips and comments on it. No, if that's what you want to do, fine. But since you don't watch VTuber content, there's streams and stuff like that. And I'm not talking one or two streams. When I say consuming content, that means you consume content on a regular basis because you will learn stuff about organizations if you do that. You don't wait for the fucking drama video comes out. You don't wait for like a whole bunch of people to leave an agency and they tell you horror stories from when they're at the time that they were at the agency, like the Niji Sanji stuff. Mm. Let me put it to you differently. How many former Hololive talent talk bad about Hololive? How many former Phase Connect talent talk bad about Phase Connect? How many former associates of V Shoujo talk bad about V Shoujo? There's a difference. The major one that no VTuber organizations act the same way. And Cover Corp does not do things the same way as Niji Sanji. Phase Connect does not do things the same way as Cover Corp. There may be some similarities, but they don't act and behave the same way. And V Shoujo doesn't behave the same way as any of them. This information can be found with Google searches. Will it take time? Yeah, because you're going to have to search each corporation. It's going to take time. Is it difficult? Sometimes, but not all the time. Type in what you want to know into Google and see what you come up with. You'd be surprised. Do your homework. Now, in this video, he told you to go to talent streams and ask them about the corporation. Don't do that. It is wrong. He has basically unleashed the lunatic fringe to, you know, to go to Psychoville. This moron, this is how I found his freaking video that and came up on my feed. This moron doesn't
Click the video.
realize that VTubers have stalkers. Okay, they make attempts to find out who they are, what they look like, and if they are coming to their area or to Japan, like what happened to Kiara when she was attacked in real life. Google it or go on YouTube. There are videos. And he's encouraging or inciting, let me say that. He's inciting that kind of behavior because he didn't think before he opened his mouth. He's putting people in danger by saying, hey, go harass them. He didn't say it exactly like that, but he doesn't think about the nutballs out there who just need a fucking reason. Usually I get really pissed off about it because it's so irresponsible. But, you know, some of the people who he associates with, one in particular, and I'm not talking about Asmongold. I repeat, I am not talking about Asmongold. Is this probably the same person that gave him all this misinformation that he now believes is true because this person has a grudge against Vtuber Corporation. He has a grudge against V Shoujo. But before we dig into that, let's go over some things they said. He wrongly quoted what Gargura said in her graduation announcement. And he used the word verbatim. Those aren't those who aren't aware of what verbatim means, and I'm not trying to treat anybody stupid. It means exact words. Was that Gargura's exact words? Well, let's take a look. Let's get it from the source, which is this is something he could have done on his in his video. We'll go into the little search bar, type in Gura, and there it is, Gura's graduation announcement. Yeah, I've done this many times before. Okay, we're gonna go right here. We're gonna go back a little bit.
I
We're
will
gonna
be
turn up the volume.
graduating from HoloLive on May 1st, 2025, JST. My reasons being disagreements with management and company direction.
Okay, is that what he said? No. Can that be put into a little nugget like he said? No, because it means two different things. Okay, let's talk about disagreements with management real fast. Do you think it's about money? If you said yes, you are wrong. Okay, we'll have to get deep into corporate VTubing. This goes for Niji Sanji, goes for Hololive, and goes for Phase Connect. This does not apply to V Shoujo. They are different. Okay, in these corps, they pay for the creation of the quote unquote identity. And when they pay for it, it becomes their intellectual property. Now, in these corps, the talent doesn't spend a penny. Not a single penny comes out of their pocket to create the quote unquote identity. That's why these VTuber models are intellectual property of the corporation. Just like Mickey Mouse is property of Disney. Just like Spider Man is property of Marvel, which in turn means Disney. Just like Superman, yes, there's a lawsuit going on about that, but Superman right now is property of DC. In turn, Warner Brothers, who owns DC. Now, do you understand why the talent can't take that the model and all that stuff that comes with it? Is because they don't own it. Let me put it to you even in a better way. Does the person who does the voice for Mickey Mouse have the right to the character? No, it belongs to Disney. The guy who's doing the voice didn't create Mickey Mouse, nor did he pay for it to be created. Walt Disney did. Does Chris Evans own the character of Captain America or any role he's ever played? No, he didn't create it. Does Tom Holland own Spider-Man? Does Andrew Garfield own Spider-Man? Does Tobey Maguire own Spider-Man? No, they didn't create it. Do the multiple actors that have played Superman in the movies own the character Superman? No, they didn't create it. So, since the talent behind the model didn't pay for the creation of said model, or if you want to use his word, identity, they don't own it. It's really that fucking simple. It's not that hard a concept to grasp. This happens in the entertainment field all the time. You don't pay for the creation of the intellectual property, it's not yours. Simple as that. If you didn't put the money out, it doesn't belong to you. I'm going to use a good analogy compared to all his bad ones, which is up there in the 15 to 20 range. If you buy a car and you let your neighbors drive it, does it belong to your neighbors? No. It's your property. You paid for it. You have the ownership papers for it. So they can't just drive it across the country without your permission. If you let them do that, hey, become my neighbor. All right, it's really that simple. Now, next question is revenue. Now we established the talent doesn't own the intellectual property or the, if you prefer, identity. Do they have to get a cut of the revenue? Is there any law saying that they have to get a cut of the revenue if they don't own the identity? No, they do not have to get a cut. Is it in the contract? Yes. Why? Well, it encourages you to be successful. It's simple as that. That's why it's in there. It's an incentive to work hard. Not that these people really need that much of incentive, because not only do they want to be successful, they enjoy what they do. It's not that hard. Once people tell you the reality of the situation, it's not that hard. The reality of the situation is none of these corporations, not Nijisanji, not Hololive, not Face Connect, have to give a cut of the merchandise to the talent. They do it because the talent makes the identity popular. Why do they take a cut to begin with? Well, I know this is going to be shocking, especially for him. They want to hire more talent and create more identity, in turn, to become more successful. I know that is a dirty word for some people for some reason, but let's talk about the cut. He tossed out a bunch of numbers that he has no proof of other than Niji Sanji, because a lawyer did get a hold of a contract and did go through that contract on stream. High legal mindset. Hint hint. But he Did he get a hold of a Hololive contract, a Face Connect contract, a V-Shoujo contract for that matter? No. He only one that people are aware of is a Nichi Sanji contract. Once again, all VTuber organizations do things differently, including their contract. There is no such thing as a standardized contract for the whole industry. Just saying. But let me put it to you in a different way. Do you think that Marvel's contract for their actors and their movies are all the same? There's been plenty of reports that said no. So why do you think it's going to be different in a VTuber organization? Because they see themselves as entertainment companies, not a YouTube creation company. They see themselves as literal talent agencies. Do you think their contracts are universal across the board? Every VTuber organizations use the exact same contract? No. Has someone seen a contract besides Niji Sanji? Yes. Someone has seen a Hololive contract and has publicly commented on it. Who, you might ask? Well, let's do a little backstory here. There was someone that had the same opinions as Tectone and voiced them publicly, just like Tectone. Who you might say? Who do you say that was? Connor, Sea Dog VA. Where did he do this? On Trash Taste. I believe it was episode 27. Trash Taste is a popular podcast that Joey the Anime Man, Gart, and Connor take part of. They do it from Japan. So that comment that Connor made about Hololive taking all the money from the talent or something along those lines, or I think he was more implying that this was a universal thing going on, could have gotten them into serious trouble. Though you guys have to remember, Japan's laws are not the same as they are in the West. You can get into serious trouble even though you're telling the truth and leave a review on Yelp. The business establishment can take you to court and will most likely win, even though in your opinion, you were telling the truth. It's just the way it is there. You don't have to agree with it, but you better fucking be aware of it. I can tell you that much. If you're in Japan and you do that, brace for impact because you may get into some serious trouble. It seems like a minor thing to us, but it isn't to them. That's not idol culture. That's Japanese culture. And I tell you to go over there and tell them they are living wrongly. Especially after you take a good look at how clean that place is. Just saying. Western people do not have a right to go to someone else's country and tell them their culture is wrong. Even if they don't like it. Now, if you don't like it, why the fuck did you go there? Or do you want to follow in the footsteps of Johnny Somali, Vitali, Ice Poseidon, Jake Paul, and be a nuisance in someone else's country? See, look how well that's working out for them. With the exception of Jake Paul. He couldn't get out of Japan faster before he got into more trouble. Or before they just told him, get out. Get the fuck out. I live in America, and I know how to be respectful to other people's culture because I know we ain't fucking perfect. Not even goddamn close, and we are not to act like we're superior to everybody else because we are not. I'm not saying America isn't great, that the liberties that we have here aren't great, but one thing we need to realize, one thing we need to become very aware of when we go to another country, ain't fucking America. And if they do stuff differently there, they ain't wrong. Just because they don't do it our way doesn't mean our way is the only right way of doing things. Just saying. We need to realize that. Anyway, moving on. So, what happened with Connor after he made those statements? Well, guess what? Hololive contacted the producers of Trash Taste. Hey, we have a talent that wants to come on. And they're going to bring their contract with them for you to look at. Have a legal team there so they can translate it for you. Only thing we ask is that you can't go into specifics what's in the contract. It has to be generalized terms. Oh, they're limiting on what they can tell them. Yeah, it's called smart business, people. You don't give your secrets away. I mean, it's not ooh evil conspiracy. It's hey, we don't want our secrets of how we treat our talent out, so our competition will know. It ain't that hard of a concept. I mean, don't go jumping off the fucking deep end of Looneyville. So, but did Hololive tell the members of Trash Taste that they couldn't criticize it? No. And how do we know this? Well, when they went to Connor and said, "Hey, Connor, tell the audience about the contract." And Connor looks up and looks at the representatives of Hololive. And he says, "You know what? They're all sweating and looking at me very intently because it's live." He could have said the contract fucking sucked. It would have been too late at that point. I mean, there goes your fucking conspiracy theory now, doesn't it? It's hard to edit a show when it's live. What did he say? Financially, the talent is taken care of very well. Very well. I don't remember which one that said it. And I think they kind of got in trouble for it. Not major trouble. They said 20% on the revenue. Which revenue? I don't know if it's the super chats or the merch. It could be a 20-30 situation. 20% on super chats, 30% on merch. That's not a bad deal, especially on the merch, because they didn't have to give the talent 70%. Now, that's mind boggling there. The corp isn't taking the lion's share of the money. The talent's getting the lion's share of the money. They're getting 70%. And basically, the corp, those evil bastards, are saying, you did good. Blows your mind, Tectone. They don't have to pay them for the merch because they don't own the identity. It belongs to the corporation because they paid for it, not the talent. Shocking, I know. Yes, this information is out there on the internet. Google it. And the Trash Taste episode with Mordecai P, episode 28, where Connor said, talks about the Hololive contract. You can go to YouTube, it's on there. In fact, hey, let's do this. Oh, look, there's Trash Taste for YouTubers. Let's go there. Just to see. There it is. This is when they're talking about the VTuber rabbit hole. This is where Connor said this stuff. Oh, look. There it is. So, about 5 episodes from that one, they actually got Maury Calliope on there, and that's when they talk about the contract. Shocking, I know, that the information is out there and very easy to find. Put it this way, if I wasn't confident that I'm telling the truth, why would I show you where to go get it? I recommend you listen to this one first, because then you get Connor's original comments, and then you get the resolution right there on episode 23. Amazing, isn't it? How easy that was. Anyway, let's go back here. So, we have someone that has seen a Hololive contract and stated that the talent is treated very well. Now, there's going to be some of you saying, how do we know they're telling the truth? Have you heard anything different from the talent that has left from Hololive? No. They have had talent left. They had Japanese talent left. They had English members leave. I'm not talking about the recent ones. I'm talking about Sana. She was with Hololive English Council. She, I believe, the very first Hololive English graduate. The first one to graduate from Hololive English. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. Have you heard her say anything bad about Hololive? Granted, I'll give you this one. No, she hasn't. And the reason why she graduated wasn't disagreements with management and direction of the company. That's not the reason why she left. She wanted to pursue graphic design. She wanted to be an artist, not a VTuber. That's the reason why she left. That's all. Nothing drama filled. Nothing spicy. She just didn't want to be a VTuber anymore and wanted to study graphic design. Ta-da! Because he likes to blow shit out of proportion. He does this throughout the whole fucking video. He's talking about things he has no concept about. Based on the Niji Sanji drama from a year ago. Yes, Tectone. It wasn't 3 months ago what happened to Doki Bird. It was a year ago. Please look at a calendar. Ta-da! This can be proven factual by a simple search on YouTube. Hey, you know what we're going to do? Doki Bird debut. Uh-huh. Yeah. Let's see if I can spell debut. just to prove I am right. Streamed a year ago, not 3 months. Oh God. And and he's going to bring that fact up that these former talents don't talk about their experience in agencies. They do. Do they constantly talk about it? No. Why? Because they want to move beyond it. They don't constantly want to be brought up for a year. They literally, at maybe after the third time, most likely at the second time, they probably don't want to go to the third time, say, hey, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. Stop asking me about it. Even the first time, I think Doki Bird said the first time, this is the only time I'm talking about this. I will not talk about it anymore. Don't ask. Not that it's going to ruin their career. They just don't fucking want to talk about it. They want to move beyond it and start their new career and be successful. And they don't want to be known as the former Nietzsche Sanji talent. I'm so sad. I want to hear my sad story. Don't be stupid. Tectone, don't be stupid. Use some common sense. You mentioned a drama you were into. Do you want to talk about it all the goddamn time? I'm pretty sure you don't. So why the fuck do you think they want to? I don't think any content creator wants to talk about drama all the goddamn time, especially if they're involved in it. I mean, you farm VTuber talent for content so you can make money off of them. Is that a lie? Do you do it? Yes. There's multiple people who do it. There's even VTubers that do it. Is it wrong? No. But don't act like you're the authority on it just because you just cover VTuber drama. If you one, you're not a fucking VTuber. Obviously. Two, you admit you don't consume the content. You're an outsider looking in. So you don't consume the content. How you get your information based on the drama you cover. And I believe, and I cannot say it's for a fact, you get it from an individual that has a grudge. We'll get to him later. So, we have established one, the talent does not lose their identity because they didn't pay for it. It belongs to the corporation because they paid for it. It's their intellectual property. They own it. Does the corporations take a cut? Yes, but reputable organizations like HoloLive, like Phase Connect, give the lion's share of the money to the talent. Do the corporation have to? If it wasn't in the contract, do they have to give them any money from the merch? No. There's no law saying they do. Not in Japan, and not in America either. I bet you didn't know that. In fact, if a talent wants to do a personal project, a personal creative project, they have to get permission from the corporation that they're contracted to. just can't go ahead and do it because they don't own the identity. They have to get permission. So we're just going to go ahead and open up a new one. The largest subscriber VTuber on the planet is Gargura at 4.7 4.72 million subscribers. Okay. Original animation. She had to get permission for these. Let's get her playlist. Song covers, original music, all these videos. I don't want to. I don't want to play them because I don't want to get copyright. She had to get permission for. Maury Calliope had to get permission for because the corporation's intellectual property is in it. The talent don't own it. Obviously, she got permission. Does that mean she got permission for every single one? No. Disagreements with management. Not that hard to figure out, now is it? It wasn't about money. Is Gargora's contract different from everybody else's? We have no evidence saying yes. What we do have evidence is of a Hololive Indonesian talent that's been with Hololive a little bit longer than Gargora. I think that's how you spell it. No. Let's do this. Because all I want to get you and go in the right direction. Okay, who are we talking about here? What are we talking about? There's Kayla. Hardcore gamer, grinder. He grinds for like 10 to 15 hours. No, Hololive does not force her to, and she does constantly get in trouble with management because they don't want her to be exhausted all the goddamn time. Not because it sounds bad, it's because they don't want her to get sick. Oh look, she's almost to 1 million. Oh, it's impressive. I'll eventually find it. Just bear with me. Just give me a second. Ah, look. There's another one that's almost to 1 million. Let's narrow it down. It's working. Whatever. I'm going to go to Hololive Indonesia. Yeah, they all have their own little section here. Alright. Her. Right there. At 1.3 million subscribers. She said it. She said that the contracts haven't changed since she joined. She's at 1.3. That means her contract is exactly the same as her contract. Her contract is exactly the same as her contract. Their contract is the same as theirs. Their contract is the same as theirs. Even though Kobo is at 2.6 million subscribers, she doesn't get a special contract. And we have no proof that's anything different than what's been said. So that means Gargura's contract is exactly the same when she first signed. Whether you agree with it or not, remember, she's getting 80% of her super chats after the predatory revenue split from YouTube. If you want to talk about predatory revenue split, talk about Twitch and YouTube, okay? But you really can't say that about the Hololive. You can't say that about Face Connect. You can. I repeat, you can say that about Niji Sanji. Once again, not all VTuber agencies operate the same way, regardless to where they're based, whether they're in Japan or in the West. And yes, there is a VTuber agency based in America. Guess which one? We'll get to it. Anyway, so disagreement with management? Creative, not about money. Not about money. So take that, take money completely out of the equation. Direction of company. Well, now it's different. Not contractually, but popularity. Gargura was the face of Hololive. Gargura also had another title that people put on her, the face of VTubing. You realize how much pressure that is, how much people demanded of her time. Gargura appears in a Taco Bell commercial at the Olympics in 2021. Did she have a speaking role? Did she act in it? No, she's right there on a fucking billboard. On a billboard. Name me another VTuber that made any kind of appearance in a worldwide brand. Has there been one for McDonald's from any VTuber agency? No. Only Gargura. And she Taco Bell sponsored her one of her streams. Have you seen anybody else get sponsored by McDonald's, Burger King, whatever fucking restaurant that's established worldwide? No. She was the first, and right now the only one. You know, Gargura holds the record of any type of content creator to reach 1 million subs on YouTube. She did it in 28 days. That record hasn't been broken at all. Ever. Well, this one debuted at 1 million. So, did it do it in 28 days before debut? Doubt it. Did it? Is it an old VTuber account that they changed the name to? Probably. So, this will tell you how much pressure that Gargura was under for her time to do sponsorship. Hell, she did the voice for Tokyo Aquarium in English and Japanese. Gura does not know how to speak Japanese. Imagine how long that took to get right. You don't know what the fuck you're saying. You're saying you in your head, I'm making strange noises. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth. Hopefully, I'm saying it right. Because, God, I don't want to constantly have to redo this. She does know a little Japanese because she sings songs in Japanese. In fact, I just hit the back button. Boop. Blue Horizon is in English. Uh, her music, Reflect, and any covers she does are in Japanese. Reflect, believe it or not, starts in Greek. I bet a lot of actual fans of Gogoro didn't know that. Those first few words that she says, it's in Greek. It's not Japanese. But there's also the pressure that she put on herself. People who notice, and I can show you here. Jesus Christ, let's look at the view count here. Let's scroll down here. All right. 3 weeks ago, but before that, the stream was 2 months ago. She was taking a lot of breaks because there was a lot of pressure put on her. I mean, 4 months ago, 3 months ago, 7 months ago. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 8 months ago and 9 months ago, 10 months ago. There was been she's been taking constant breaks because she was being pulled in every direction. She had a very hard time saying no. That is a dangerous thing that some talent have, is to say no. Robin Williams had that problem too. He had to learn how to say no. And this is something he admitted. You can look up old interviews with Robin Williams and you'll find when he said, I had to learn how to say no. I couldn't be performing all the time because people would come up to him and say, "Hey, I'm depressed. Can you make me laugh?" And he would do it. "Hey, Gura, there's a project. Do you want to do it?" Yes. It's because she felt the pressure of being the face of Hololive and the face of VTubing. She felt it. She also felt the pressure of disappointing her fans. Even though her fans, which I'm one of them, by the way, that I'm telling you my biases about her fans just wanted her to be healthy and happy because there was about 2 years ago where she got sick and she couldn't stream for about 4 months. What we didn't realize because of the pressure And she finally told us that in her graduation announcement, the stress from the very beginning, when she reached that mile mark of 1 million as fast as she did, she was terrified. Was she happy? Yes, but mostly she was scared. Because, it came so fast. And the stress was so bad that she put on herself that she couldn't eat. And this was going on for 4 years. And she hit it. I'm not saying she was anorexic, because she did eat occasionally, and she could keep the food down, but the stress was so bad that sometimes she threw it up. But she felt she was being pulled in so many directions. She had enough. It's not to say that her whole time at Hololive was horrible. It wasn't. She got to do a lot of amazing things, and she admits this. She overcame a lot. She couldn't even sing in front of her mother, and now she's finding herself singing in front of hundreds of thousands of people, either on stream or in concert, and dancing. She had to literally come out of her shell, not easily, but with a fucking sledgehammer. And that's stressful too. So when you're sitting there touting about money, all this stuff, and making it sound like, hey, VTubers are being taken advantage of corporations. No, they're not. Did Niji Sanji take advantage of their talents with their revenue split? Yeah, the proof is out there. All you gotta do is look for it. It's not that fucking hard. But did Hololive, did Phase Connect do it? No. VShojo is a special case. Let's talk about VShojo real fast. Let's talk about the history of VShojo. And this information, once again, is online. You can Google it, and you can find it for yourself. Who created VShojo? Was it Gunrun? No. Shocking, I know. The talent did. Project Melody, Iron Mouse, Fruit, Nanners. This has become important later. Silvervale all had a hand in creating VShojo. They pulled their resources together to create an agency for the talent by the talent. Yeah, that's my imitation of your stupid ass clap, because you don't know anything. Has any VTuber agency, when starting out, make mistakes? Yeah, like any other business. You, when you're starting out, you're learning, and sometimes you fuck up. Did Hololive? Yeah, with the Kiyoshi Coco situation. She was a dragon VTuber, by the way, those who aren't aware. TDRL, she read her analytics online, pissed off the whole country of China. They sent hate her away. They, Hololive told her to take 2 weeks off, quote unquote, press release. We suspended her for 2 weeks because of the China in this incident. Hopefully, making it all blow over. It didn't blow over. The hate campaign continued on, and in turn, Hololive didn't really protect her, and she graduated due to the hate. Not and Hololive employs professional moderation teams now. So those dumbasses that you just sent to harass them, and they start typing in their chat, "Hey, why are you working for Hololive? It's a black company." The talent will never see the message. It'd be striked, and they'll be banned because no one is going to harass their talent ever again. In fact, they'll record an IP because they'll come back, they'll try to do it again. They go, there he is, the harassment right there. Okay, let's start contacting their local police department for online harassment. You don't have to be an American company to contact an American police department to file a complaint. So basically, what you just did, you got a bunch of people hearing this sound. Sir, we need to talk to you. That's the police. So, hey, Tectone, think before you open your mouth. Because you don't have a fucking clue to what you're talking about. No idea. None. You have no clue to how the entertainment business works. Yes, these companies, Niji Sanji, Hololive, who's actually cover court by the way, Face Connect, and V Shoujo are classified as entertainment company. That's how they run their business. Just like your little agenda, Mythic Talent. Let's talk about Mythic Talent. Do you think the talent formerly known as Gargura is going to sign with Mythic Talent? I don't think you have a chance. I don't think you have a chance with any former Hololive talent. Why? Well, they have some pretty good tools in their belt. What do you have? Do you have anything to offer them on the level that they're used to, the access to people in the music industry, the animation industry, in Japan, and in America? Do you have access to them that you can help them get in contact with? It's a yes or no question. Most likely not, because there's no evidence that you do. Do you have access to animators on the level that they're used to that they got at Hololive? It's a yes or no question. I'm going to say no because there's no evidence that you do. There's none. Fillion's VTuber award show. I don't know how much Mythic is involved in that. Let's go to creators here. I'll bring up the reason why. And before we go on there, you made a really asinine statement, or you're going to, talking about how these corporate VTubers can't collab with anybody outside of their company. You're so fucking dumb. Okay, I've done this several times. I'm going to go through this as fast as I possibly can. Okay, Kiara of Hololive has been on Iron Mouse v Shoujo's Speak of the Devil. Mori Calliope of Hololive has been on Iron Mouse v Shoujo's Speak of the Devil. Hakia's Bell, or Bay, of Hololive has been on Speak of the Devil, Iron Mouse v Shoujo. Kiara has collabed with Niji Sanji talent. Kiara has collabed with independent VTubers on multiple occasions. Mori Calliope has collabed with independent VTubers, musicians that have appeared in videos produced by Hololive. Maury Calliope has collabed with Amelie a few times. Amelie is independent. Maury Calliope is Hololive. This is going to be funny. Maury Calliope has collabed with Milky. And I'll point out why this is funny in a minute. Milky, you'll see who she's with. And Maury Calliope is Hololive. Ina has collabed with Pick Me. Pick Me was with Phase Connect. Ina's Hololive. Ina has collabed with Henya. Henya is V Shoujo. Inya is Hololive. Now see how stupid that statement was. And how stupid you are. Because let's go down here. I watch a lot of these people. I used to point out to them, hey, false. Fillion, I think she produces 95% of her VTuber Awards show herself. She does all the heavy lifting. The only heavy lifting that maybe Mythic does is help get sponsors. This is why I laugh. There's Milky. Here's an interesting thing. Who's that? Mr. VTuber himself, and he doesn't know that that one of the talents in his own org has collabed with a member of Hololive. Is she a member of Hololive? Is this Hololive? No, this is Mythic. Just in case, Tectone, you didn't realize it. Let's move on. There's a lot of wonderful creators in Mythic. I'm not going to deny that, nor am I going to diminish their talent, but I am going to talk about an individual right there. Noxtaku. Now you talk, Tectone, you brought drama. And if you help Noxtaku in there, you do something very unprofessional that gives Mythic bad optics. You didn't check him out, did you? Or if you did, you go, not a big deal. Well, it is. And I'll explain why. I believe he's the one that's been giving you information on how VTuber orgs act because he has a grudge. I could be wrong. That's why I'm not saying it's for a fact.